Hello everyone, this is Dr.P.Syamala from the Department of MBA International Business Studies, Acharya Nagarjuna University. And coming to today's topic, we are going to learn about organizational development. So in previous class, we have learned about organizational change. After organizational change, we are going to learn about organizational development. So if you see the intro of organizational development means, it is considered to be a modern approach to the management of change. Why? Because from change only we are going to see the development. If at all we make change to organizational settings, then only we can see the development. Okay, so organizational development is considered to be a modern approach to the management of change. So the underlying principle of OD, okay, is the that the ideal way to achieve change in organization is to alter each person's uh, entire formal or informal role set to support the change. Okay, so OD means definitely it involves the changes, or else it is to alter each person entire formal or informal set to support the change. Okay, so if there is an attempt to change an individual alone, he is merely placed into role conflict. Okay, because his peers, his staff, specialists and others retain the same role expectations of him. So in such some circumstances, it is worthwhile to revise the entire role set to revise the change. That is why organizational development was originated to bring changes in the entire organizational object aspect. Okay, so we not only need to change only an individual. Okay, so we have to change all the organization. Okay, whole organization. And if you see the meaning, okay, organizational, we can say that organizational development is a technique used for bringing change in the entire aspect of the organization rather than focusing attention on the individuals, so that change is readily absorbed. Okay, so if we see another the extension for that, it seeks to change. Okay, development means it seeks to change beliefs, attitudes, values, structure, practices. Okay, so that organization can better adapt to technology and live with the fast pace of change. Okay, so development, where does it resides means, okay, it seeks to change the beliefs, the attitudes, the values, the structure, practices. Okay, so that all these enables the organization to adapt to technology. Okay, so in order to sustain in the competitive market, definitely we have to adopt technology. Okay, so according to R. Beckhead, he defined organizational development as it is an effort. Okay, it is an effort planned organization wide. Okay, it is a planned one. Okay, it is not unplanned, it is a planned one, which is applied for the whole organization, not only one individual. Okay, whole organization wide and managed from top level to bottom level. Okay, to increase organizational effectiveness. Okay, and health through planned intervention means by planning proper strategies, techniques, methods in the organization. Why? Because in order to achieve the organizational effectiveness through process using behavioral science knowledge. Okay, through behavioral science knowledge. So finally we can say that In a very comprehensive way, we can define organizational development as a planned, systematic, organized, and collaborative effort where behavioral science and organization theory, principles, and practices are continuously applied in order to increase the quality of life, okay, which is reflected in increased organizational health and vitality, enhanced individual and group members' competence, and self-worth and general overall well-being of society. Okay, so through application of the principles, interventions means planned interventions means proper methods, strategies, principles, practices, okay, which are continuously applied whenever they are continuously applied in an organization. Why? Because in order to increase the quality of life, okay, this quality of life reflects in increased organizational health, okay, this enhances individual and group members competence, okay, and thus organizational development seeks to change beliefs, attitudes, values, structures, and practices so that organization can better adapt to technology. Okay, so if you see the characteristics of organizational development, okay, so first thing is planned change. Okay, it is not unplanned, it is a planned change. Okay, organizational development is an educational strategy for bringing about planned change. Planned change concept makes it different from other approaches for change in organizations. Definitely it shows, it makes difference previously where we are and now where we are through proper planning. Okay, then second one is encompasses the whole organization. Okay, so this change covers the entire organization. OD is the development of whole organization, okay, so that it can respond to the changes effectively. So OD tends to ensure that all parts of the organization are well coordinated in order to solve the problems and opportunities that are brought by change. Okay, and coming to the third one, long range change. What does this means? It is a long term process. Okay. Development means not a one time or else one night. Within one night, overnight, we cannot develop. So it is a long term process. It may take months or years to implement it. So ODE is never intended to be a stopgap arrangement or measure. And if you see systems orientation, okay, so OD is concerned with the various groups in the organization and interactions with each other. Okay, so it is concerned with the group and individual development and their interactions also. So it is concerned with formal as well as informal or social relationships. So it is concerned with group structures, process, attitudes, everything. OD emphasizes on the basically the relationships, interactions among the members and not on the group themselves, okay, among the groups. And now coming to the fifth aspect, change agent, okay. So the services of outside experts are obtained. So change agents are those persons who may be, we can hire them within the organization or from outside the organization, but maximum organizations hire outside the organizations with subject expertise, okay. And so the services of outside experts are obtained generally to implement the OD process in OD process. Okay, so programs are here when the primary change agent is a consultant from outside the organization. He can operate independently without ties to the organization hierarchy and politics of the organization. Why? Because he is not at all related to the organization. He is from the outside person. So therefore, he can do genuinely. He can do the OD process genuinely. And the personal director is the internal agent of the organization who coordinates the program with the management and the external agent. Here, there is a person, the person who facilitates the external expert. Okay, he is the personal director. Okay, he will coordinates the program, And external agent also works with the management. Okay, there is a three-way relationship of personal director, management, and outside consultant. Okay, see, change agent is the outside person, external person. Okay, and here is organization or management. In between we have personal director. Okay, so personal director, he acts as a facilitator to this external expert and the management. Okay, so we can see in this way three-way relationship, okay, between personal director, management, and outside consultant, as all of them they develop the OD program. We can say very rarely internal change agent will be hired, but most probably external agent will be only taken by the organizations. Next, if you see problem solving. Okay, so problem solving means OD emphasizes on problem solving rather than just theoretical discussion of the problems. Okay, so the focus on real ongoing problems rather than the theoretical or artificial one is called action research. Okay, action, we are taking action, the focus is on the real problem, ongoing problem. So action research is a very important feature of OD. Sometimes OD is called organizational improvement through action research. Here we are emphasizing the problem solving. Okay, we are not just discussing what had happened or else the theoretical discussion of the problem. Okay, so we are going to study about the problem solving in OD. And next characteristics is experiential learning. In traditional approaches, if you see, training was provided to the people by lectures or discussion methods. Okay, so in which people talk about only the ideas, abstract ideas. But if you see in organizational development, OD, okay, particularly learn by experiencing in the training environment the kind of human problems they face on the job. Okay, so on the job. Okay, on the job itself, on the job, on the job itself, the people learn. Okay, learning experience will be there. Okay, so the approach tend to produce more changed behavior than the traditional approach. In traditional approach, they a training will be mostly in discussion forms or else giving lectures, but here on the job they are facing the real problem and they are learning there the experience. Okay, so the theory is also necessary and desirable, but the ultimate test is how it applies in the real practice. Okay, so for these answers are provided by the OD. So that is experiential learning. And if you see eighth point, collaborative management. Okay, so what does collaborative management means? In contrast to traditional management structures where orders are issued at upper levels and simply carried out by the lower levels, here if you see in this OD, it stresses collaboration, okay, among levels, among the three levels of the management. In OD, organizations are reviewed in a systems perspective, okay, but not in traditional, as it is not like a traditional structure. Okay, like only for from top level to medium level to bottom level. Okay, there will be a chain of command, not like that, but this is collaborative management. Okay, collaboration between the levels of the management. Okay, so that is that it facilitates, OD facilitates that collaborative management. And if you see group process, okay, in OD, an effort is made to improve interpersonal relations, open communication channels, and build trust and encourages responsiveness to others. Okay, so for this, OD relies on group processes like group discussions will be conducted, intergroup conflicts can be cleared, confrontations and procedures for cooperations all will be maintained, seen in the OD. Okay, and here what can we see means an improvement is made for the interpersonal relations. Why? Because OD is based upon interactions and interrelationships. Okay, so that is why OD relies most on group processing, like group discussions, solving group conflicts, confrontations. Okay, the procedures to be followed for cooperation likewise. And if you see organizational culture, so what does this means? OD assumes that the culture of every organization is different from the culture of the other organizations. Okay, so the assumption that a particular solution can be applied to the problem of all organizations is generally not made in organizational development. Okay, so means for example, there is a problem for an organization. Okay, so they found out a solution for that problem, but the same solution will not be good for another organization, another industry. Okay, so therefore the culture of every organization is different from the culture of the organization. Therefore, it is assumption that particular solution can be applied to the problems of all the organizations is generally not made. Okay, so instead, culture of each organization must be understood and relations consistent with our culture will be developed. And if you see feedback, okay, feedback is given to all participants about themselves, which provides them a basis for their next activities. Okay, so therefore definitely a feedback is given. As external consultant came here, okay, he research all the organization. Okay, and he interacts with each and every participant. Each and every participant will give for each and every participant, okay, feedback will be given. So they generally base their decisions on this concrete data. With the help of feedback of information, employees will be encouraged to understand a situation, okay, and take self corrective action before somebody else tells them what to do. So in OD, it helps the employees. Okay, employees are here encouraged to understand the situation and take self-corrective actions. Okay, so this feedback will be help for in OD in organizational development. This helps the employees. Okay, in order to correct their actions. If you see the 12th aspect, situational and uh, contingency oriented. Okay, so OD is flexible and pragmatic. Okay, adapting the actions to fit particular needs only. It is flexible. Okay, so although some occasional OD change agent may have to impose a single best way on the group, there is usually open discussion of several better alternatives rather than a single best way. Okay, so it depends upon the situation. Okay, so it is very OD is flexible. We can say flexible means we can change. Okay, depending upon the situations. Okay, so there is no we cannot impose a single best way. Okay, we depending upon the situations we can have open discussions, we can have a better alternatives. Okay, then now coming to team building. So what does team building means? The basic objective of OD is to build better teamwork throughout the organization. Okay, so we are talking when we are talking about OD means definitely the basis is on the relationships, on the interactions. Okay, so OD tries to tie all the groups, small and large, working in the organization together to make one integrated and cooperative group. Okay, so if any groups have differences, OD will help them to find out the way for solving the differences. So the result of effective teamwork will be improved through organizational performance. Okay, so this is about the characteristics of organizational development. Then if you see about the need for OD. Okay, so generally, see, no need for OD means OD has grown rapidly in response to the need of the organizations to remain viable and to survive in the world of change. Okay, so here, what is the need? Okay, what is the need for organizational development means here the purpose or else the purpose of implementing this planned change. What is this means? Training for change. Okay, so employees need training to adjust with the changes. So training for change does not work properly only through reward structure on the job. Okay. So there should be a proper change in the environment of the organization in which people work to make the training work proper. Okay. So the basic objective of OD is to bring about change in the organizational structure so that it supports training. Okay. So here training means training for change does not work properly only through reward structure on the job. Okay. So we should create a proper environment for the people to work, okay, to make training work properly. And for that we need this in training for change is needed for OD. And if you see second aspect, to help in making the organizational culture more responsive, for this purpose also we need OD. So in a dynamic environment, changes take place very rapidly. So this requires a highly receptive and effective organization so that changes are implemented and absorbed to make organizations survive and grow. Okay. So we what this means here, the organization should be in a position that it is very receptive, highly receptive, acceptable for the changes, effective. Okay. So that we can implement and survive and grow in the environment. Okay. So OD can help a lot in this direction, in this changing process. So OD reaches into all aspects of organization culture in order to make it more responsive. Okay. So being highly receptive, highly responsive is important. For that also we need. Okay. Then if you see benefits of organizational development. Okay. So if you see benefits of organizational development, what are the benefits, or else what are the advantages? Okay. Or else what are the benefits? So increasing productivity and efficiency comes with many benefits. One of the best way to encourage positive results in these metrics is by using a well thought out organizational development structure. Okay. Through well development organizational structure, we can increase productivity and efficiency. So these are the benefits of organization. And OD is used to equip an organization with the right tools so that it can adapt and respond positively to changes in the market. Okay. So in that benefits we are going to talk about first thing, continuous development. Okay. So continuous development, entities that participate in OD continually develop their business models. Okay. Organizational development creates a constant pattern of improvement in strategies, in which strategies are developed, strategies are evaluated, implemented, and assessed for results and quality. Okay. So in essence, the process builds a favorable environment in which a company can embrace change both internally and externally. The change is leveraged to encourage periodic renewal. So, what is the benefit means? Continuous development can be seen. Continuous development means a constant pattern of improvement in which strategies are developed, evaluated, implemented, and assessed for results and quality. Okay. Then, if you see second one, increased horizontal and vertical communication. Okay. So considerable merit to OD is effective communication, interaction, and feedback in an organization. Okay. An efficient communication system aligns employees with the company's goals, values, and objectives. Okay. There should be efficient communication in the organization. Without efficient communication, effective communication, organizational goals and objectives cannot be achieved. Why? Because if at all the organizational goals and objectives are properly communicated, effectively communicated to the each and every employee of the organization, then only they can try to work for the achievement of the organization. So an open communication system enables employees to understand the importance of change in an organization. Okay, then only open communication system means any time the subordinate may approach to superior and can tell about the pains and gains. So this is an open communication system. If there is an open communication system, definitely, okay, it changes it we can see it enables the changes in the organization. And active OD increases communication in an organization with feedback shared continuously to encourage improvement. Okay, OD definitely will be helpful in this, where means in communication. Okay, why? Because the feedback will be given, continuous feedback will be given, and this helps them to encourage. Okay, then employee growth. Okay, what does employee growth means? Organizational development places significant emphasis on effective communication, which is used to encourage employees to effect necessary changes. Okay, properly, whenever properly communication is communicated, effectively communicated, then the people will try, depending upon that feedback, they will try to put more efforts. Okay, so this many industry changes requires employee development programs. As a result, many organizations are working towards improving the skills of their employees to equip them with more market relevant skills. Okay, because at present, what is the technology is ongoing, what are the market relevant skills, all those should be enhanced, okay, by the organization from to the employees. Then if you see enhanced of products and services. Okay, so innovation is one of the main benefits of organizational development, and it is a key contributing factor to the improvement of products and services. One approach to change is employee development. Okay, and a critical focal point is a reward for motivation and success. So successful engagement of employees, okay, leads to increased innovation and productivity. So here enhancement of products and services can be done with the proper motivation of the employee through reward system, and this leads to increased innovation and productivity. So through competitive analysis, consumer expectations, market research, okay, OD promotes change. Okay, through these organizational development will promotes the change in the organization. And if you see the fifth aspect, okay, increased profit margins. So increased profit margins means organizational development influences the bottom line in many different ways. Okay, so as a result of increased productivity and innovation, profits and efficiency increase. This is, we all know this thing, as productivity increases means, okay, as productivity increases means definitely it leads to the profits. Okay, so cost come down because organization can better manage employee turnover and absenteeism. How profits can be seen, how profits margins can be seen, one is the increase in productivity, other is reduction of the cost. Okay, reduction of cost comes down because organization may see employee turnover, it can better manage employee turnover. Okay, employee turnover, and also by reducing absenteeism. Okay, so all these are reducing the cost for the organization, which increases ultimately the profits. Okay, and after the alignment of an entity's objectives, it can focus entirely on the development and product and service quality, which leads to improvement in customer satisfaction. And if you see assumptions, okay, so what are the assumptions? So first one is most of the individuals are motivated. Okay, most of the individuals are motivated by personal growth and development, motivated by personal growth and development. So this is one of the assumption. So the theory, the OD is based on certain assumptions. In that assumptions, individuals are motivated by personal growth and development, only individuals are motivated. However, the work habits of a person are a response to work environment rather than personality traits. So the attitude of a person towards his job will depend upon his growth potentials. Okay, in most of the cases, if we see, means what does this means? Whenever a person, the person's, generally the attitude of the person will be like that. Whenever if he has a personal growth, then he will show a positive attitude towards his job. Okay, therefore efforts should be made to change the way a person is treated in the organization. So we have to change the first the person rather than attempting to change the person. Okay, should efforts, first of all we have to make some efforts. Okay, so why, what are those efforts? Means in order to change the way of a person, how he thinks. Okay, next, the work habits of a person will change positively only if we change the work environment to suit these requirements. So assumption is that there will be a certain attitude for a person, and the work habits of a person, okay, will change positively only when the work environment is suitable to his requirements, according to his requirements. Okay, so this is the first assumption. Coming to second one is highest productivity. Okay, highest productivity can be achieved only if there is effective integration of individual goals with organizational goals. Okay, here integration should be there of individual goals and with organizational goals, because whenever there is if there is organizational goal development, means similarly individual goals also will be increased. So this will help in the getting highest productivity. So assumption is that organizational development under OD, the goals should be set, the objectives should be set in our OD in such a way that there should be an alignment, there should be an integration between individual goals and organizational goals. Means if there is a growth in organizational goals, means it will affect individual goal also. Means there will be increase in individual goal also. So in such a way OD should be created, OD objectives should be made. Okay, then third aspect is cooperation is more effective than conflict. Okay, see, OD tends to assume that cooperation is more effective than conflicts. Definitely everyone think like that only. Okay, if we always go for conflicts, means we cannot see productivity in the organization. Therefore it assumes that cooperation will create more effectiveness. So in healthy organizations, efforts are made at all levels to treat conflicts as a problem subject to problem solving methods. Okay, so this is because of the reason that conflicts tends to erode trust, prohibit collaboration, and eventually limit the effectiveness of the organization. So conflicts are not encouraged. Okay, they are more, OD is more concentrated on cooperation. It believe in only cooperation but not in conflicts. Why? Because conflicts erode trust, conflicts prohibit collaboration, conflicts limit the effectiveness of the organization. Okay, now coming to the fourth aspect, free expression. Okay, free expression of feelings is an important ingredient for commitment to work. Okay, free expression of feelings, it is very important. Suppression of feelings adversely affects the problem solving. Okay, so personal growth, satisfaction of the work. Okay, so suppression should not be there here. So this is another assumption. Coming to fifth one, the level of interpersonal trust, support, and cooperation should be as high as possible. Means because growth of individual is facilitated by relationships which are open, supportive, and trusting. Okay, so there should be a level of interpersonal trust. Okay, there should be a cooperation. All should be in high as possible. And if you see the sixth aspect, there should be a sense of commitment among the employees in the organization. Okay, agreeing to do something is totally different from committed to do something. Okay, so agreeing is different from committed. Okay, so sense of commitment makes it easy to accept change, and implementation of change is even easier when this commitment is based upon participation in the process. Therefore, whenever there is a change, to accept change. Okay, there is a commitment to accept change means definitely we can implement. It is easy to implement that change. Okay, then that is another assumption. Means first of all, the persons should be in what to say, they agreeing agree. First of all, they have to agree, then commitment. Okay, then OD cannot be implemented in isolation. Okay, so um, it must be reinforced by the organization's total human resource system. Okay, because it cannot be implemented in isolation. Means not with one person we cannot implement. The whole organization system should be implemented. Okay, that is another assumption. Okay, then now if you see about the steps in the OD process. Okay, or else the process of OD, the process of organizational development. And here see, if we see this steps or process, it is very difficult to give a model of OD which will be applicable to all the organizations. Therefore, theorists and practitioners differ about various steps and sequences in OD. Okay, so some theorists may give evaluation at third point, or else team building at the second point. Likewise, many theorists and practitioners, they differ about the steps. Okay, this is because of the reason that most of the ideas in OD have generated from practices, and these practices have differed from organization to organization. Okay, so where there is a difference between one organization to another organization, so that is why there exists a variance between the different steps. Okay, the sequence of the steps, but most probably all these aspects, okay, all these aspects will be there, but the sequence will be differed. Why? Because it is due to the differences in the organizations. Okay, so like many of them have given these steps, like R.R. Blake, Moulton, R. Beckard, French and Bell, Lawrence and Loshi. So like many of them have given these steps for this OD. Okay, but finally, if we take comprehensively all of those theorists and practitioners, okay, we can have a typical complete OD program. Okay, which includes all these steps. So by the combination of all those authors, all those practitioners, all those author theories, we are now defining steps in the OD process. And in that, first one is initial diagnosis of the problem. Okay, so initial diagnosis of the problem means, in order to adopt, or else in order to implement OD, organizational development, in the organization, first step what should we do means, there should be an initial diagnosis of the problem. So in the first step, the management should try to find out an overall view of the situation to find the real problem. First of all, if we want to solve the problem, okay, we need to find out the, okay, so we need to find out the problem. In order to solve the problem, we need to find out the problem. Then top management should meet the consultants and experts to determine the type of program that is needed. Okay, definitely the top management will be involved. So this top management should meet the consultants, so or else the expertise persons. Why? Means to determine the type of the program that is needed. So in the first stage only, the consultants will meet the various persons in the organization and interview them to collect some information. So as I said before, there will be a agent. Okay, change agent. Okay, or else consultant. Okay, from external most of them external consultant will be their expertise. So in first stage only, in this diagnosis of problem stage only, these consultants meet various persons in the organizations. Okay, and interview them. Why? Because to collect some information regarding the organization and their personal attitude. Okay, then if you see second aspect, data collection. Okay, so data collection means, in this stage, the consultant, okay, here the consultant will make the surveys to determine the climate of the organization and the behavioral problems of the employees. Okay, definitely he will collect, the consultant will make surveys about, and finally he will see how is the organizational climate. The consultant will meet groups of people away from their work environment to get some answers. Okay, so like he will ask that what specific job conditions contribute most to their job effectiveness, or else what kind of conditions interfere their job effectiveness, or else what changes would they like to make in working of organization. Likewise, he will ask the questions, he will interact with the employees of the organization. Okay, then third aspect is data feedback and confrontation. Okay, so the data which has been collected in the second step from the employees, workers, will be given to the work groups who will be assigned the job of reviewing the data. Okay, work groups. Okay, that data will be given to the work groups. These groups, okay, they will review. Okay, they will review the data. Any area of disagreement will be mediated among themselves only, and priorities will be established for change. So these working group only, they will analyze. Okay, so they will analyze the feedback that is given by the consultant, they will discuss within them. Okay, they will see the wherever there is a disagreement. Okay, they will be mediated among themselves only, and if there are any priorities where a change should be made, means they will try to accept that. Okay, so this is about the data feedback and confrontation. And planning strategies for change means, in this stage consultant will suggest the strategy for change. For example, here in this case, in this third step, okay, there is a priority for change. Okay, there is a priority for change. Now in this fourth stage, the for that change, okay, there will be a planning strategy. Okay, who consultant will suggest strategy. He will attempt to transform diagnosis of the problem into a proper action plan involving the overall goals for change, determination of basic approach for attaining these goals, and sequence of detailed scheme for implementing that approach, etc. Okay, so he will prepare a proper action plan. Okay, which involves all the goals to be changed, determination of the approach, which approach to be taken, sequence, all these things will be planned there. Okay, then if you see fifth aspect, intervention in the system. Okay, so intervening in the system means, it refers to planned program activities during the course of an OD program. Okay, there it is a intervening means, it is it is taking into consideration the planned program. It wants to implement that strategy. Okay, that is intervening. Planned program activities during the course of an OD program, when the OD program is ongoing, in that at that time planned program will be implemented. So these planned activities bring certain changes in the system, which is the basic objective of the OD. Okay, then there may be various methods through which external consultant intervene in the system, such as education and laboratory training, process consultation, team development, etc. Any strategy can be applied by the external consultant in the organization. Okay, why? Because in order to implement that strategy, okay, if we want to intervene any strategy, so for that he may go for educating the workers, or else training the workers, or else through process consultation, or else through team development, any intervene. Okay, in order to implement that strategy, okay, the external consultant go for any option. Now coming to building. So during the entire process, the consultant encourages the group to examine how they work together. Okay, the consultant will educate them about the value of free communication and also trust as essential for group functioning. The consultant can have team members and their subordinates to work together as a team in OD sessions to further encourage team building. Okay, for this purpose, consultant here, okay, this consultant may have team members also, okay, with subordinates work together as a team in OD. So this what this makes means it encourages the team building, okay. So this follows the development of small groups. There may be development among larger groups comprising several teams likewise. And finally, evaluation, okay. So evaluation means it is a very long process. So there is a great so there is a great need for careful monitoring to get precise feedback regarding what is going on after the OD program starts. Evaluation is nothing but whatever we have done till now. We are evaluating that program. Okay, so this will help in making suitable modifications whenever necessary. For evaluation of OD program, the use of critic sessions, appraisal of change efforts, and comparison of pre and post training behavioral patterns are quite effective. So we have to all evaluate all these things like critic sessions means maintaining sessions regarding our program. If there are any criticisms, then we have to accept those and we have to try to change those. Okay, so evaluation will help in this process. So this the steps in OD are part of a whole process, so all of them need to be applied if a firm expects to get the full benefits of OD. If at all any organization wants to go for OD program, means definitely all these, okay, all these steps to be followed. Okay, and definitely there should be a consultant, external consultant, subject expert should be there. He will give a feedback here. Okay, finally, if at all they need any changes, means they will evaluate those changes and apply those changes. So all these are about the uh, steps in the organizational development process. And if you see interventions, these are interventions or methods or techniques of organizational development. So in next class we'll try to learn about these interventions, but as far as now this is about the steps, benefits, assumptions, need, and meaning of characteristics of organizational development.